Okay. We look good. But I could have told you that any day.
It's a beautiful day, but not as beautiful as me.
Not as beautiful as that cape. You see that cape?
I do.
Okay. So when we
So,
last
what
left
happened
off,
last time? Yeah.
last time we were we just
It's
got
blocked by plants. I need to find another way out.
yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. We got the upgrade to the gun, and now we need to get out of the bat cave so we can go hunt down Ivy. It should be your, like, bat claw grabber.
Gotta.
Yep, bat claw. I need to fire the bat claw. Ugh. Yeah. Damn.
Now, why'd it go and do that?
No! Batman, no! You gotta use the bat claw.
By the way, I'm running this on a new graphics card. What's the delay like?
Go to your pause menu.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna say that's about 5-6 seconds.
You know, as long as it stays that way, that's not so bad. Because we
Yeah.
were looking at like 20 before.
Yeah. 5 or 6 seconds should be okay. That's just standard Twitch latency.
Of course, Deadly Premonition was running on 0. But that came with a trade-off, and we don't always get what we want.
Deadly
That's all I'm
Premonition.
going to say about that.
Deadly Premonition was running off of, like, negative frame rates. Like, it felt bad that it was performing so badly, so it was giving extra to us. That's how I choose to interpret that.
Fair enough.
By the way, while we do this quick sweep around, I continued on yesterday, well, today, this morning, I guess, and did another quick, like, little section of that game to make sure that things were running well. And I'm glad I did, because we'll get into this a little bit, but you know that thing in Deadly Premonition 1 where you can only do things at a certain time of day, and you either have options to deal with that, or you have to physically wait for like 6 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's still absolutely a thing.
I mean, you do have the time-passing cigarettes, don't forget.
You do, and you have multiple levels of cigarettes. However, the best time-passing cigarette is still Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, the Phantom Cigar.
Yeah, because the theme song plays every time.
It fucking does.
But only for like 2 seconds, and then it stops.
Only for like 2 seconds, though.
But that's okay, because it's the 2 seconds that you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you can remember a song on the radio, but you can only remember like 2 notes, and that's it.
It's those 2 notes.
Record breaker!
What am I doing here?
You're finding your way across the island.
That's a generous assessment, I would say.
You're not spending too long looking at those stretch textures.
What's up here?
I don't know if I told you this. I think I did. These Batman episodes are consistently and constantly...
Getting claimed?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
It's... And you know what? There's only, like, one other episode so far of something. Oh. There's only one other episode of something that's been claimed so far, and you know what it was?
What?
Kids Bop, Bring Me to Life. The clip,
Oh, I love it.
yeah. Like, the clip got claimed as I put it up, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Fair enough. That's okay.
Fair enough.
And then, like, 30 hours later, the full VOD got claimed on the full stream, and it was like, oh, guess what? Also Kids Bop.
Oh man.
There you go. We have to
Okay,
stop
I'm-
Uma Thurman.
I'm now out of the Batcave.
Yes, good work.
I expected to come out here and just like see that guy still laying here that I choked out in the last episode.
Sure.
If only. Oh shit, not this shit again.
Literally, in this case. Oh,
It's
I
lethal.
see. Oh, wow. They scream like peace.
I've been running a simulation of the damage Ivy's plans will do if they reach Gotham.
They won't get that far. My answer will stop them and Ivy.
I hope you're right. I'm here if you need me.
They won't get that far, he says as he just recklessly tosses batarangs into the thing that's not moving.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, Bumble King Batman is my favorite. Oh shit.
Like kicking a tire trying to get it to work properly. Which is not why you kick a tire, but you get
No.
what I mean. I mean, that's why I kick tires.
Oh, I didn't know I could do that. I never even thought to try that
I thought you did.
until just now. No,
No, not even.
not even.
Well, there you go.
Oh, look at that slurm. You see it?
Yeah, Slurms Mackenzie's gonna hang out with
Oracle,
us.
we've got another problem.
What
He's gonna
now?
party.
Two-Face? Riddler? Some kind of giant Joker robot?
No, it's Nick
Unfortunately,
Cannon.
That's simple. I'm at the main sewer junction, and it appears to be polluted with Titan. Wow.
Oh no, we're
What's
gonna
it
have
doing
to deal
now?
with the kids who have, like, the banana allergies.
We really hope that they signed those NDAs.
We really hope that they sign those NDAs. Not those releases, those NDAs. As in, if something does happen, no, you're not allowed to talk about it.
You can't tell your doctor what happened here. If you
To
tell
do
your
so would be a violation of the contract.
if you tell your doctor what happened, we will sue you. Well, okay, that is one way to destroy those.
Mm-hmm. Fuck it.
Honestly, I'm looking at this, and it makes me like,
The Titan water seems to be corrosive, but it shouldn't trouble the suit. What have you found out?
I'm not sure you're ready for this.
No, but go ahead.
Joker's pumping all the waste product from the Titan process into that chamber. It acts as a kind of natural storage tank. Once it's full, it releases the water into the Gotham River. Normally, it's safe, but
But this time it's full of Titan. How do I stop it?
I'm working on it.
what was I gonna say?
Okay, but
I don't remember.
where's my ricocheting batarangs that bounce between enemies? That's what I want.
Oh, now I remember what I was gonna say. This reminds me of both the now you're getting it. This reminds me both of Arkham City and what Arkham Knight plays like in the trailers, and not when you actually play it.
What have you been doing with your time?
It makes me like really want to play those games. Like, yo, I love these games. I really wish that biggest, most expensive one they made like ran well at all.
According to the plans I have on
It probably does now.
3 control rooms. The first is directly above you.
I'll
I
shut them
mean-
all down.
What will happen if this Titan stuff reaches Gotham?
There's the Batman we love.
Yeah, I like that. What if this happens? It won't. Batman calling all points. I need help. If anyone could come in and help me, because I can't fly. At all.
Now would
That
be
would
good.
be good.
We're at full power, pumping out gallons of the stuff. What will it do? Who cares? Let my mom live down by the dock.
And that's funny to me in this context, because you have the glider cape.
Yeah? The glider cape is great.
The glider cape is great.
Have you seen what that Titan stuff does to people?
It even works with all the tears in his cloak.
With my mom. It'll be an improvement.
What am I doing here? Where am I meant to be going? Okay.
Secure the pump control room, shut down west pump room, shut down east pump room.
I see. Wait.
Yeah, there you go. I love these moments because like 90% of the time they have all this extra dialogue that they've pumped out for these situations, right? But then every once in a while you'll have a bunch of mooks just standing there not saying anything and waving their arms around. And you're like, shouldn't there be dialogue here? Shouldn't there be something instead of silence? Oh! That one dude looked like you... Okay.
Can you hear me? Oh, for the love of... I suppose that's you in there, Bats. Well, enjoy it while you can.
It took me a second to remember that I had a counter button, as you no doubt noticed.
I'm gonna say this. 2 mooks ago, it looks like you kicked that guy so hard that he, like, rebounded in a cartwheel off his neck. The other dude, it looked like you just straight up garroted him with your arm blades.
Yeah, it did look like that.
What happened back in that house?
Just business.
Business? What kind of business practices result in a house full of mutilated corpses?
I don't like having my time wasted. Someone doesn't pay. They need a lesson. They owed me.
So you killed them, tore up their bodies. The police never found all the pieces.
They should have looked in the sewers.
Are you saying you hid them there?
After a while. Usually takes about 8 hours.
Croc is great.
Get up off of that thing! Yeah, Croc's good in this game.
You heard him. Shoot to kill. I'd never do anything else. That's not what I heard.
Wow. Ooh, yeah, look at that fluid cape. I'm never
Oh,
gonna...
man.
Go ahead.
That last one was not, like... That was not a glancing blow. That was dead on.
Down there with you.
That's...
Making you all
Your
look like fools.
nose bones are now in your brain and you're dead.
Like, his fist stopped when it hit that guy's face. The momentum transfer was complete. And
Yeah.
total.
There was no follow through on the punch because there didn't need to be.
Mm-hmm.
That is what you would call well that's a Bruce Lee style punch. That's your 1-inch punch.
I was literally about to say.
I have a book on such techniques that that the good Sir Bruce Lee himself wrote.
Moving above us. Could come from anywhere.
Details such things as the 1-inch punch and how he like broke his back.
Working, what gives?
Oh man. Nope. Nope.
God,
It's supposed to be that swinging around on the gargoyles fucking gets rid of them. What gives?
I
Did
think
that
that-
suddenly stop being a thing?
No. So I think the problem is that the 2 points that you were switching between are far enough away that it wasn't like rapidly swinging between them. You know what I mean?
You think so?
Yeah. Because
You like caves. Stick your head out so I can blow it off.
it's not just going between them, it's going between them rapidly.
And you have to, like, actually lose their line of sight?
Yeah. So instead of doing, like, if you look to the one on the far end, you were going between the two on the far end instead of going, like, cycling through all three, if that makes sense.
So let me get this right. You stay up in wherever the hell you are, and we go poking around in some cave.
Yeah, thanks, Killbane.
Caves.
This cave's gonna be the Bat's tomb.
You know, I don't know if it's just me, but thinking back on Saints Row the Third, it was like a pretty genuinely shocking moment when he just straight up killed one of the De Winter sisters, right?
Yeah.
Like, at that point,
Scared? The massive poisonous plants have probably stopped the bat by now, and if not, you're just the guys to do it.
and if not, up until that point, that was still like a relatively, like, you didn't see that a whole lot in games. Yeah, okay, so this time try rapidly switching between all three. Or, yeah, do that too, also.
Yeah.
No, no!
I salute my fallen enemy!
Raspberry. Yeah, raspberry.
This is the part where I start to get annoyed by the mechanics not working as advertised.
Come on, Bat, show yourself. This your battle.
I think it's time to try a new approach.
Yeah, I was gonna say try and go through that grate first off.
Hey, boys. You remember the plan to flood Gotham with millions of gallons of poisonous waste? Good. Thing is, Batman's trying to stop it. I have faith that you're the ones to stop it. If you don't, Fate is going to have a nasty accident.
So here's an option.
Yeah.
You could lay an explosive down on that explosive thing and walk away from it in case you need a
distraction?
a distraction later, yeah.
Not a bad idea. I'm gonna do that.
Don't be scared. The massive poisonous plants have probably stopped with that by now. And if not, you're just the guys to do it.
I get it. He's pissed at Batman. What's new?
I like that. I like that some of the guys are like not having it anymore. Oh no, oh no! Ooh!
He climbed over the railing. Gonna kill you.
Nice.
Come on, get it open!
Oh God.
Oh no, I saw it happen.
Good work. Joker was right. He was easy.
That loser didn't stand a chance. I mean, look at me.
It's alright. Those didn't count. Those were bad dreams. Don't worry, I have this vision in my mind right now where in however many months we're gonna be sitting here and I'm gonna be trying to play Jade Empire, and like the first major fight in that game, for whatever reason, can be like stupidly hard.
He must not get
Yeah.
control. You understand?
To the point where I go back to play that game for fun sometimes, and the beginning is always really weird because, like, the first time that you're introduced to, hey, let's fight multiple enemies at one time. Well, not the very first time. I'm talking about the fight on the beach. The beach with the boat. Anybody knows what I'm talking about. That
Like
fight.
the first real fight?
Yeah, the first, like, cutscene starts and a bad guy from a named organization is like, oh, it's you. Burn this village to the ground.
Is that too much to ask?
As soon as that happens, that fight is, like,
Wait up. I'll watch your back.
really weirdly difficult. It doesn't matter how many times I go back to it. That one, I can sometimes spend, like, 8 attempts trying to get through. And I imagine that's going to happen on stream, so I wouldn't worry about it.
No sign of the bat in the control room.
Haven't you found him? What's
Speaking of fights that are really weirdly difficult,
Yeah.
there's a fight in Yakuza Kiwami that's really early on. Do you remember the part in that game where Date is like, Haruka's been through a lot. Take her into the town and like go have some fun.
Yes.
You remember that? And you go to the gambling parlor for whatever reason. And you
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of dudes. And then there's 2 or 3 dudes who were really, really tough. Like boss tier.
Hey.
Like
That same thing. If you put down an explosive on this floor, right here, you can still cause a distraction if you want. Or you can do that. That's also an option.
I think that was pretty cool.
That was cool. That was like Batman's usual thing, but upside down.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were
It's the
saying about...
inverted takedown.
That's what an inverted takedown looks like if you play with inverted controls.
Mm-hmm. Which I do.
But you were
Anyway.
saying about the gambling den?
What happened to you?
The gambling den. You find out that they're cheating, and the fight starts,
What's going on?
and the fucking,
Leave him here.
there's the dealer and his bodyguards.
Wait up. I'll watch
And
your
there's
back.
the dealer who's super tough, and the bodyguards who are super tough. And, like, if you go into that fight with few or no healing items, because the rest of the game has not been difficult up to that point, which is what I did, you will have to attempt that fight easily 2 or 3 dozen times.
Yeah,
Until you do it, like, absolutely perfectly.
I can think of a few instances in Yakuza 3 that are like that. There's one boss in particular that's like you and a dude in a hotel room, and the hotel room is just filled with like tables and chairs, and the implication is supposed to be like, oh, use the tables and chairs to fight him. Because if you don't, he's going to use them against you, and it ends up being like this mad dash of who can grab these items, because if he grabs the items, you're screwed. There's just...
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Unless you're like me and you bought like 12 stamina and royales or whatever into the fight with you. Look at that. Look at that Seidel.
Yeah. Okay, that one doesn't count as done. Do I need to kill everyone
You need to
non-lethally?
you need to non-lethally clear out the room by killing everyone.
Non-lethally, of course.
Non-lethally, of course.
I'll watch your back.
Here's a fun
And there's-
fact. Go ahead.
There's a similar fight later in that same game. That is like, I want to say that it's like the same fight, more or less, but you're stronger because it's later in the game, and it feels actually well tuned instead of ridiculous.
Yeah. No, every single one of the Yakuza games has like a section, or it has like 2 to 3 sections where the difficulty ramps up significantly, but it's a spike of difficulty. It's not like, it's not a clear progression, and usually it's because you spend 4 hours, if you're lucky, just like talking to people and playing the visual novel, and then a boss fight happens, and you're like, wait, how do I play this game?
There. It's up there. Above us.
It's the
Oi.
bat.
Wait up. I'll watch your back.
You could probably... Yeah. You could probably,
I could probably get that guy.
Yeah, since he's all on his lonesome.
Thing is, if I get hit once... Yeah, exactly like that.
Well, it's easy, just don't get hit. Oh no, he got hit!
Oh, isn't that cute? Little bats are sleeping. Someone finish him off.
At least that ragdoll is fun. Batman just throws his arms and legs out like a U shape.
Mm-hmm.
When I see Batman, he's going down. He'll die in his cave.
I seem to recall mentioning earlier that I kind of figured that this was the direction the game would go in.
Hey, boys.
It's like, okay, you know how to fight dudes now. Now here's a bunch of dudes with guns. Have fun.
Yeah.
Batman's trying to stop
And
then
it's
it-
like,
I have
I'm not.
all the ones to stop it. If you don't, fate is going to have a nasty accident.
Not having fun.
I'm gonna give you a piece of advice that may or may not help.
Yeah?
Pretend they don't have guns.
If they didn't have guns, I would just run in and punch them.
But
I
like
tried that already. It didn't work.
Massive poisonous plants have probably stopped the Batman.
you gotta shoot your shot. You know what I mean?
Don't expect. Joker does something, Batman does something back. You think Batman wouldn't notice?
Yeah, like these guys are so incredibly nearsighted that
Oh shit.
oh no. Batman, don't pull out your PSP just yet.
I think you might want to go and check it out.
Oh no! Got shot in the shoulder. Yeah, get out of there, bats. Yeah, there you go. Zutalor, Batman.
Control room's mine.
Control room's his.
I found someone.
Yeah.
What the?
It's so slow. I love it.
What happened to you? Sure it came from over there. That's the best shot. Hey, get off me! Ah!
Not you.
Now you're getting it.
Hey, over
You.
here! There's someone up there.
An inverted takedown is always the most silent takedown. Liam Neeson taught me that in the Alps.
What were the chances? Batman taking out all of you armed thugs in a dark
You know, this is one of those things where you could tell that Rocksteady was like,
I'm nothing. Leave me, please.
you could tell that they were super proud of the fact and that it was super, like, novel up to this point for enemies to have, like, location-based dialogue. Because I want to say that this room has been referred to as a cave or the cave or this cave at least 9
I
times.
said I wanted the bat stopped. Did no one listen? It's like you don't want
I think I got 'em all.
You did.
I want some goddamn pizza. Good thing this wasn't on any kind of real timer. Whatever. Yeah, who cares?
The timer lasts only as long as it takes for Batman to disarm it. The timer is however long is left on the episode. So, the way that he keeps looking over his shoulder makes me think that he's not, like, playing Patapon. And he's playing, like, some obscure Japanese, like, visual novel.
Great. Only 2 more to find.
I relate to that feeling.
I can't let Alfred see me playing Danganronpa.
Shit.
That's how Batman gets all of his detective and interrogation training.
What are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Joker sent us to back up the other guys in the room. Where are they? Do we have guns? I don't need a gun. My box.
I don't need a gun. All I need is hate. All I need is crime.
Yeah, the game's a lot more fun when the dudes don't all have guns.
I agree.
In my humble opinion.
In my humble opinion, I think it's awesome that you're just running around beating up ICP members. I struggle to think of any Insane Clown Posse songs.
Yeah.
Do not listen to me. I said stop with the truth. Try harder for
I can always remember Violent J off the top of my head, but the other guy's name always escapes me. Malicious Ted. I don't know, something.
Oh, we got an upgrade point.
Ooh, what'd we get?
Oh, the twin batarang.
Yeah.
Sonic batarang. I think I want to go for the Sonic batarang. If they're just going to be throwing, like, rooms full of dudes with guns, then I want a lure, I think.
Yeah, Sonic batarangs, they can really move. They can't catch what they can't see, alright?
Held him upside down and beat the crap out of him. The guy was the best. Did he pay up? Nah, he spent it all at the track.
What? You let him get away with it?
Do I look like an idiot? When I found out.
Yeah!
He's making you look stupid. Is that hard to do? But it is not why I
Oop,
put you
gun guy's getting back up.
He's trying to shut down the power. Do not let him.
Fuck you!
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see that. It's not exactly a... Ooh, there we go. I was gonna say it's not a haymaker, but now they're just throwing a bunch of haymakers at you.
You okay, buddy? Don't let him hit you, you idiot!
It's crazy how
You need to
fast...
fucking stop that.
Oh, he's gonna get crushed by that piston. Yep, there he goes. One has to wonder what it took for Nathan Drake to turn to this level of crime and villainy. Oh!
You okay, buddy?
Bender, I can believe.
Are you fucking kidding? You're gonna see that in a second.
Did you get... Oh, no.
Hey.
And for the
someone
record,
help
I
that
did
baby
parry
up
that.
off the floor.
I just want that to be on the table where everyone can see it.
I believe you. Genuinely, there are some times in this game where you feel like you've gotten the flow correctly, and then you just get hit in the back of the head. I find each game to have that problem. I think, surprise, surprise, I think Night is the worst one about it, just because of the sheer amount of them that are being tossed at you at any given time. Like, this scenario of, hey, you just beat a combat zone, here's another mini combat zone to fill time. In this game, mini combat zones are like 10, maybe 11 people. In Arkham Knight, they can be like 15 to 20 to 25. Like, it gets really, really kind of over the top. In a way that I think is bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you see that piston get him, though?
I see it. Now, where's the bullshit? Gotta get the PSP and go.
Alfred, I need the UMD.
Oracle. That's the
Wait, then what does this do?
Just one more to go.
Blow them both up.
I intend to.
That's pump 3 disabled. I'm going to head back up to the surface and track down Ivy.
Get in touch if you need
That fucking stealth encounter made me bad at the brawling mechanics, I think.
I can understand that. What do you think the last UMD disc was, like, that they ever produced?
Like manufactured,
Yeah.
or like with gold?
The patient was pacified after a breakout attempt. Gardier and Cash is in hospital. Reports state that the patient attacked Cash and in the struggle consumed his left hand. Cash is lucky to be alive. He lost a lot of blood.
Me too. I nearly choked on that bony hand of his.
That's disgusting. He could have died.
He's just food to me. And once I get a taste, I want the rest of the meal. You know what I mean.
Get him out of here. Now.
Got your scent too, lady. I'll see you around. Tick tock, tick tock.
And that's how Cash lost his arm.
I didn't know that.
Which explains why Cash is so, like, incredibly pissed at him the entire game. Like, him specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac's performance live at the House of Blues was also released on the UMD.
Ruining my plans? Oh, stay where you are. I'm sending down a token of my displeasure. Oh gosh, I hope it doesn't hurt you too badly.
Some adult films have also been released on UMD in Japan.
Oh, here we go.
The House of Blues is a wonderful venue here in Florida if you ever get a chance to go. At least the one in Disney Springs. Once a year, Streetlight Manifesto likes to come around, usually around November. And I have gone to see... I've gone to see them. I've seen Steve Vai. And I've seen... Who was the other one? I saw somebody else at the House of Blues not too long ago. They were also pretty good. It's always a good time. Get him on the ground and stomp on his face. How UMDs became the last failed physical movie format. Ah, what a shame. Let's see, PSP UMD movies list. We have such titles as Beef 2, Boogeyman, Hood of the Living Dead, and Snoop Dogg in Puff Puff Pass. Oh, the Puff Puff Pass tour. I see. Also Cars. Yeah, not an amazing lineup, as it turns out. And this guy's still alive, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah! Get him on the ground and stomp on his face. Yeah, like that. Oh my god. These poor mooks.
This is adding to my hit counter, by the way.
I know, it's great. Triple S. Smoking sick style. Come on. They say that a hero can save us. Not gonna stand here and wait. Oh no. He stood there and waited.
My fans for their undying support, and the people of Gotham, who I'll be seeing very, very soon.
It's alright, you actually got pretty close on that one. Oh great. Covered in dust. Man. You think about these underground tunnels and you realize, like, Arkham Asylum as a building, or as like a facility, is so stupidly huge. I mean, there's like a certain point where you're like, oh yeah, you know, underground tunnels for like maximum security, but then I don't think you often run into like extra security measures down here or anything.
I mean, there are electricity grids on the side of this arena.
There are, but it's like, what are they leading to? They're not, they're just leading to more tunnels. Maybe it's like a, maybe it's supposed to be like an underground way to connect passages like you have at Disney. They just have like tunnels for easy access between different areas of the island. Dude reminds me of the Splicers from Batman Beyond.
Yeah, kinda.
I love
because that was also Venom, as you may recall.
Yes. I mean, it was essentially the same thing. It was a modified version of Venom. Mixed with, like, different types of animal DNA. That's the thing I love about Batman Beyond is, like, the initial concept of, hey, Warner Brothers wants you to make a Batman, but he's in high school series. And they said, okay. And then they made that. And then they were like, okay, well, what kind of episodes usually go into a high school series for kids? It's like, well, what about... There's got to be an episode where Batman tells kids that drugs are bad, and then they come up with the fucking Splicers. And it's just like the most horrifying nightmare garbage you've ever seen. Hey, turns out drugs are bad. Don't do them.
yeah. Oh, no.
Gotta say, I thought you'd last longer.
Gotta go it again. Oh, who could this be? Oh, it's another, yeah, it's you again. Hey, buddy. Welcome to the party. I've been thinking of adding an emote to the stream that's just like a crit icon. Like it literally just says CRIT.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I like that idea.
Because I think it's applicable. I think it's applicable no matter where we are or what we're doing. Let's see, we had 2, 4, 6, 6, okay. Oh, I like it. They cut him off that time. Get him, waste him. Get him on the ground and stomp on the waist. Ooh, nice. Genetically modified wingspan. Ooh. Come on, Batman, you got this. Yeah, that's just a kidney punch. It's like minor organ failure. It's really funny to me hearing Nolan North just scream at the top of his lungs. Because he's usually like cool, calm, and collected. Like he's usually got composure in what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, close. That one was close.
I think we're past the point now in video games of dodge moves that don't have iframes.
We live in a... You have post-Dark Souls and pre-Dark Souls. If your roll doesn't have iframes, what are you doing? Monster Hunter.
The roll in Monster Hunter does have iframes, it just doesn't have good ones.
And to that,
I do agree with you, though.
I employ my my unrealistic expectations and say, I'm gonna add an addendum where if you're not gonna have good ones, why have them?
Mm-hmm.
I salute my fallen enemy.
Oh, what does this game want from me?
Have you been using your quick batarang?
Yes, I have.
Huh. I mean, the thing that I've noticed is that... Yeah, the thing that usually gets you is, the thing that usually gets you is the charge. Every once in a while you get tagged by one of his hits, but it's almost always the charge.
Because I'm distracted by the fucking mooks.
Yeah, you should probably try and keep more of an eye on him and let him take out the mooks trying to get to you. If that makes sense. Like, try and...
For how many buttons this game has, I shouldn't have to think about it that hard.
I agree with you. But I believe that is what it's... I believe that is, like, the optimal thing to do here. Like, the form of crowd control is to bullfight him into the crowd, while also getting him to hit the wall. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, big lug. Yeah, okay. Not bad, not bad at all. Hey, you've already almost got him, so... Oh wow, are those two lines, like, specifically chosen for this? Because that's really weird to put those two together.
I don't know, I didn't hear it.
Every time this wave starts, they always say, "Get him!" And then the second guy always says, "Waste him!" Those are two weird lines to put together. Tell you what, I was playing through Mass Effect, Mass Effect 1, and I totally heard Kree's Summer again, and I was like, this is really weird. I don't remember her in this game at all. It's just like every time that I hear one of these guys, I can always pick them out like in a second. I've been watching a lot of older anime from like the 70s and 80s, and there are a couple of instances where like a kid character will show up and you're like, oh, that's Vic M. That's really weird that he's here.
Yeah. I don't even blame you for not trying to pronounce that guy's name either. Just so we're on the same page.
Oh no, me either, because he's also like a scumbag apparently.
Yeah, supposedly. Heard that too.
And I've heard it enough times that I'm willing to believe it.
Hmm.
Ooh, we got another Chronicle of Riddick.
New brick, metal and paint covered old wounds. Fresh blood was injected into the body. Bright new minds came, and all swore to uphold our promises. We all knew we were the ones to fix this city, and the city would thank us.
What, is that not the way forward? Okay. No, it has to be.
If you think that you can run, if you think that you can stand, you forget who turned this city on. You forget who plugged this city in.
And they'll not switch it off again.
One by one, they're tuning in. Oh! I don't... The trumpets are, like, warping. They're not playing correctly.
Oh, that's a video game.
Are you hearing that?
I probably am, and I'm just not paying attention.
It's like the triumphant horns are just going...
I think that's just a byproduct of my presence, to be totally honest with you.
It sounds like the soundtrack is being attacked by Scarecrow.
Oh.
That was probably unnecessary.
Me just being here is making the soundtrack be like, nah, this is what you get. Especially after that last encounter.
I wanna imagine that, like, the soundtrack is being blared through speakers in the walls, and the walls just got rammed into by that guy so many times that they don't work properly anymore. Like
You could change the walls to Batman's cowl, and it would be pretty much the same. No change.
I love the idea of, like, the score being played through Batman's cowl.
Yeah.
Only for him.
Only for him.
Oh, yeah.
Ivy's getting stronger. I need to stop her now.
Okay, what do we
I think she's
got
still in
here?
the gardens where you left her.
More
But she'll be in
bullshit
control
plants.
right now. You'll be walking into a trap.
Bang a
That's
left
what she thinks.
or a right, doesn't matter.
Yeah, as long as you get there, you can do whatever you like. Stop poison ivy from destroying the water supply. Oh, you see that Joker mouth?
I see it.
Go in through there.
No, wait, that's not the way I have to go.
It's not, but go in there. Because you haven't been in there yet.
Have I not?
I don't think so.
I feel like I came out through there.
No, no, no. I don't think you've seen what's in there.
You seem adamant, so I'll take your word for it.
There's a cool thing. Yeah, you'll like it. Oh, we keep running into some hitches with the stream too.
Hmm.
You remember when I said that there were a couple of hints here and there that Batman Arkham tries to be a horror game sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This building is that.
Come in, sit down, take off your mask. So, Bats, I was thinking, you really could use a friend in here.
Ah.
Someone to talk to, share secrets with.
Right?
Shall we start with the big one? Who is that behind?
Wasn't expecting the controls to change like this. I respect it, though.
Straight up, like Batman Bioshock.
Bat shock, if you will.
So
And the way you set that up makes it seem like it's... Is this it? Am I done in here?
Yeah, you can keep coming back here and having more conversations with the TV. Yeah, this changes, like, whenever there's a major story beat, you can usually come back in here for more content. And yeah, it's just like little extra conversations to have that are usually really cool. So the switch to first person, when Silent Hills was first being discussed as a thing that was being made, there was a lot of talk about first person sections and third person sections. And I have a distinct feeling that that was the kind of thing that you were eventually going to be doing in that game that never got made.
Hmm.
And you know,
it's locked.
You know what that reminds me of more than anything?
What?
It reminds me of the Sarsaparilla Sunset Bottling Company.
Yeah, with Festus, the fucking robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get a very similar vibe from that.
What do you think you can do, Batman? I am everywhere. My babies know your every move.
Excuse me?
You and your kind are arrogant enough to think you can destroy us. You will fail, and we will become the most powerful force on the planet.
Oh, wow.
That
Yeah.
loser didn't stand a chance.
Hadn't even considered the possibility.
Look at me.
Yeah, you got pretty messed up there.
What do you think you can do, Batman? I am everywhere. My babies know your every move. You and your kind are arrogant enough to think you can destroy us.
Damn.
You will fail, and we will become the most powerful force on the planet.
Yeah, honestly, the worst part of this game is the dudes who have guns.
Ivy and her plants want to become the dominant species on the planet, and they'll destroy us all to make it happen.
You're just delaying the
Whenever there's a dude with a gun on the screen, it's like, yep, time to stop having fun.
It's alright, guys with guns hate Tangelos. It messes with their equilibrium.
Ooh.
Batman, what's with all the oranges? They're not oranges, they're Tangelos.
Come on, do your bullshit.
Alfred just sort of grabs the front of his head. Oh, Master Bruce. What's with all the Tangelos?
You will pay, Batman, for hurting my babies.
Oh, God. Does she ever stop going on about those plans of hers?
When I finish with Batman, I'll be coming after
Will you really? Nice costume, and they still turn on you. Well, good luck to you, Toots. I got an army, a city-sized dose of Titan, and a bag of weed killers. Come and find me.
God.
Done with that raid.
On what grounds, motherfucker? On what grounds?
I can't be the only... Yes, I can. I can always be the only one. It's alright, Batman. You just gotta take it. Take it slow. Okay. I'm gonna see if this works a little bit better. See if this maybe cuts down on the latency somewhat. I switched us over to BRB for about 2.5 seconds. And then flipped a switch and set us back. Oh! Shot in the head!
Oh, isn't that cute? Little Bat's a-sleepin'. Someone finish him off.
I'm gonna quickly refresh your gameplay.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Batman, for hurting my babies.
Oh, God. Does she ever stop going on about those plans of hers?
I want to say we should be back to normal now.
I'll be coming after you, Joker.
We went from about 5 or so seconds to closer to 10, I think.
It was supposed to not be doing that anymore.
And they still turn on you. Well, good luck to you, Toots. I got an army, a city-sized dose of Titan, and a bag of weed killer.
Well, if it makes you feel any better.
Done with that raid. Oh, it'll be fun. You can bring the wine. I'll make the salad.
If it makes you feel any better.
Nothing makes me feel better, because it's still gonna be in the VOD.
I'll edit it out as best I can.
Nah, don't do that.
Alright, you heard it here, folks. I don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it.
Oh, hi, BFL.
To keep a girl waiting, Batman.
Oh? Who's that in the chat?
No, it popped up on your screen.
Oh, for fuck's... I signed out of Steam.
Nah, though, it didn't. Nope. BFL is Batman's nickname for Alfred. It's alright, do what you need to do. I put us on BRB again.
I'm fucking signed out on Steam, though, is the thing. I'm signed out. I'm
So
disconnected.
weird. It's weird because not only did you get it, but I got it too.
I didn't get it. At least not that I saw.
Really? It's weird. Oh, man. These guys just getting turned into, like, the petrified forest is horrifying.
Are you hungry, my poor babies? Eat and
Wait a
grow
second.
strong.
Oh, that's a dumb plant noise. I thought that was a sniper scope noise. And I thought I was about to start getting fucking annoyed again.
It's like a plant sniper. You know?
Yeah.
It's like the flowers are looking through the scope of evolution. Readying themselves for the next attack.
Well, maybe if you didn't make your babies so delicious, Dracula wouldn't have had to eat them.
Some people talk shit, some people get hit. Usually those are the same people.
Yeah, get that broken ass shit out of my face.
That's what I said.
And
then
we should be back.
Everybody got really upset for no reason.
I want the twin batarang.
Yeah? No reason not to go for it.
Yeah. Multi-batarang.
Allows for the use of 2 bat credit cards at the same time.
Just so.
I'm just through here, waiting for you.
Oh no.
I don't like that. I don't like this Zelda dungeon.
I've got myself a little security Batman. They'll just die if anything happens to me.
What just happened?
I don't know what happened. I guess I'll find out in a few seconds there. Oh. I don't know what happened.
I'll tell you what happened.
Mm-hmm.
The game tried to do a DRM check, and it didn't. And it couldn't, because I closed Steam. We
Welcome
get to
back
hear the
to
dialogue again.
Batman Arkham Asylum.
Are you ready?
If you're just joining us,
Do you think
we're
you
about
can
to beat the
handle
crap out of yet another infamous Rogues Gallery member.
it? I'm waiting in here. Come to me.
I thought I was going to get caught on that fucking pillar and fall in, and I was going to be really upset.
Oh yeah, kind of looked like it for a second there, but you're good.
Every plant you kill, Batman, just makes me angrier.
You know, I really appreciate the amount of like unique environments in this game.
Yeah?
That's the thing that makes
It's all been pretty distinct so
Are
far.
you scared,
Yeah.
Batman? You should be. You're only a man.
Every once in a while, like, you'll get a repeating corridor or something here or there, but for the most part, everything looks really unique
I've
and
got myself
lived
a little
in.
security, Batman. They'll just die if anything happens to me.
Whether lived in naturally or lived in via supervillain method, it's all believable, and it's all unique and varied in cool ways. You can tell that, like, the design of each room, like, so much thought went into it.
It's true.
What could this be? Face your fears, Batman.
Here we go.
Zip zoom. Oh, wow. Everything suddenly looks like 2 games into the future.
let you destroy it, Batman.
I told you to go to your cell.
I was a fool. I thought the plants were in pain. Now I realize they were evolving, growing stronger.
Learning Leech Seed.
Now it's time for another boss encounter that's going to make me unhappy.
Now it's time for the boss from the Forest Temple in Twilight Princess.
You cannot
Like, literally.
but she can destroy you. Caught like a bat in a trap.
Oh, don't do that. Straight up. Like, same camera angle, same type of deal. Toss in, like, a little bit of Metal Gear Ray.
Give in to a more powerful force.
From
Batman.
Revengeance, not MGS2.
Now I understand.
Yeah, it's not difficult. It's more cinematic than anything. Which, hey, if you want to learn how to make a AAA game, just make things cinematic. And
Just make a game and fill it with bad boss fights. That's the gunfire way.
and then, like, drill all of your employees to work until they die.
Mm-hmm.
And then claim that games aren't supposed to be fun.
Now, which studio are you talking about?
I'm talking about Naughty Dog.
Oh, yeah.
A developer that makes really, really impressive games at a price that I would consider questionable. Very, very technically impressive games with increasingly diminishing diminishing returns on story.
I'll choke the life out of you.
Excuse me for drinking coffee. I will go on record to say I think the Uncharted series is probably still the best that they've made. I think Uncharted 1 is bad. I think it's pretty bad. Uncharted 2 is, like, incredible. Probably one of the most fun popcorn movie adventure things. It's the best Indiana Jones game ever made. 3 is messy, not quite as good as 2, but leagues better than 1. And Uncharted 4 is like the proper sequel to 2. It's a little bit more grown up, it's a little bit more grounded, and it is basically the same game, but with, like, an improvement on almost every scale, including a story that I think works really, really well. Excellent voice talent, excellent theming, and really, really impressive visuals, like, across the board. Yeah! And I'm going to end this by saying, Last of Us 1... Blow it up, blow it up! Last of Us 1 is a good game that was... what's the word I'm looking for? Not as good as everybody thinks.
Overrated.
Overrated, there you go. And Last of Us 2 is a game that is not as tight as the first one, despite being a lot more technically impressive and fun to play. For
And
a game...
it's a shame about the writing.
Yeah, like, I think the writing is mostly fine. And in some cases, I think the theming is pretty great. I think the execution on the theme is great. I think the writing is sloppy to bad in a lot of cases, but still good in some areas. But I think that the first game is still a tighter story.
and executed a little bit more smoothly. And I think for your game to be like 90% focused on story, I think at some point you have to take the story
that guy?
and be like, yeah,
You're gonna see that guy in a second.
Oh no, there he goes. I think for you to focus like 90% of your efforts on your story and claim that like this is the big thing, and then to not nail it as well as your immediate predecessor did, it's like, by that metric, I consider it a somewhat inferior artistic product. Like, they're clearly trying to say something, but I think they did it more concisely and with a bit more class the first time around.
Save me from the evil bat.
Also, just because you can render a sex scene doesn't necessarily mean you should.
In fact, it probably means that you shouldn't.
Mass Effect, like, has some really awkward ones, but I would argue that they're more in line with, like, the tone, because sci-fi is pretty sexual by nature a lot of the time. And, like, for them to be going for their cable TV approach with pulp sci-fi like they do in Mass Effect, I think it makes sense for the sex scenes in those games to be like what you might see on a 7 p.m. time slot on Fox or something.
Mm-hmm.
But for Last of Us 2 to be like, hey, here's a big old sex happening, and for the main draw that people, or the main thing that people take away from that is like, ew, you shouldn't have put that in the game. That was awkward. It's like, how many hours of work, how many revisions, and how many hours of crunch went into making, animating, and modeling, and doing all of that for that to be the payoff? Was that really necessary? Did that need to be in your game? Probably not.
Was it worth it?
Was it worth putting your employees through what you put them through? Maybe your game about zombies and how revenge isn't really worthwhile is maybe not worth that. Just saying.
And I say again, revenge is the best thing ever. And everybody who's ever gotten revenge has been like, this has been the most worth it thing ever. What are you talking about?
I can see both
and the only people who say that revenge sucks are people who didn't do it right.
I can see both sides to this. I think in the context of reality, both have happened. And both will
because
continue to happen.
reality is a world of gray.
Yeah.
And that kind of statement, be it the statement I just said or the statement I said it in counter to, neither will ever be 100% true.
Hey, fireworks.
Yeah, look at that. Well, at least the shitty fucking plants are gone. At least that.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it.
To some extent.
To some extent.
There are definitely still some, like, large remnants of overgrown vegetation.
So get your ass over to the cell block, or you'll miss your final surprise.
Get your ass over to that cell block. We need to tango. He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same. Only part of Chicago I remember. It's the only part of...
The whole city, huh?
Well,
That's all you got?
the whole musical.
The whole city.
The whole city. That's not true. There's one more thing I remember. There are two more things I remember from Chicago. I remember Watch Dogs 1 and The Bean. And I remember the Batman Nolan movies.
If your name's not on the list, you ain't going in. Let's see, A.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Bane. Ah, here it is. Batman. Hey, looks like you're the guest of honor. Give him a big welcome.
I feel like only the Joker could get a whole bunch of mooks to agree to do this.
Or Majima.
Or Majima, you're super right. Which, hey, there's an overlap.
This is straight up like Kiryu walking into the construction zone. So, I heard you like playing BioShock.
Are you excited, Bats? I mean, we've been building up to this point all night. Don't tell me you've not been looking forward to it. I know I have. Surprise! Everyone always said I should be in television. You don't want to miss this, really. It'll be
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah! I like that you had the sense to do that.
It's like, yeah, standing right there, probably not the best idea.
Just kick that. Kick it right over. Gotta kick that.
Why didn't you stop Batman?
Yeah! It's Scarface!
It was your plan, you goofy clown. I'm sending you back to the ventriloquist where you belong. You had to spoil everything, didn't you? Beating up Bane, feeding Scarecrow to Croc, slapping around Harley, my hobby, by the way, and ruining all my lovely Venom plans.
It's over, Joker.
Over? Why, my dear delusional Dark Knight, it hasn't even begun.
Brother! It's not over! God. Look at this like American McGee's Alice level. I really, really love the design of all of the sets that have gone into this game. Just again, like everything. They did such a good job of bringing not just the comics, quote unquote, to life, but like this is the kind of stuff this is the kind of aesthetic and mood that you would get from like random issues of the comics on like the cover pages. I love this so much. It's a giant monument of mannequins. It's just so unsettling. And it's not like creepy. It's not scary. It's just really cool in like a macabre sort of way. If this was like a little bit less modern, this could easily be like a Dark Souls arena boss.
Yeah.
Just like cages to the left of you, cages to the right, and in the middle is this mountain of corpses.
what the game is asking of me right now, the controls are not good enough. The freedom that you have as the player is not enough.
I agree. I would also say I don't consider this fun. I don't consider this fun on top of the fact that it's taking as many tries as it does.
Like, you know me. You know that I play a mean video game.
Between the two of us, you're much better than I am at video games. And I can be good at some pretty tough video games from time to time. I don't consider this to be your fault. This is one of those things, like, I had a lot of trouble with these combat scenarios in this series for this kind of reason. There are multiple characters that you play as in other games, and I won't say who, but I will say Arkham City has probably my favorite alternate character to control.
So here's something interesting. If you do the raw dodge, it doesn't have any iframes. But if you do the dodge where you vault over someone, that has iframes.
That sounds familiar. I remember doing a lot of the dodging over people. Jade Empire has a very similar type of dodge, where you just, like, full-on kung fu jump over somebody like 180 degrees, and it is also necessary to abuse it in a lot of cases. Also, I'm reminded of the Empire, the Jade Empire Arena, because that is a game in which you are spending most of your time doing martial arts, right?
Why won't this motherfucker go down?
I have no idea. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Nicely done, Bats. You deserve a prize. Your old pal, Commissioner Gordon. Say, he looks all run down. Let's pep him up.
It's funny that you mentioned the thing that you mentioned.
Batman!
Yeah.
Get away! Here we go! We're gonna have some fun now, kiddies! You're trying to resist the change! That's not... Come on, get
Liam Neeson taught me how to resist this change in the Alps.
So, you wanna play hardball, Bats, do ya? Your call. Pickle, pickle. No! Oh, you're ruining my big night! Months of planning down the crapper! I just wanted to bring down your grim facade and for once let you see the world as I see it, giggling in a corner and bleeding. But you've denied me even that. I have nothing to live for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen,
Arkham Asylum remains under lockdown.
Are you ready?
Mercy of the rampaging inmates. Just 10 minutes ago, we received...
Are you ready for the most infamous part of this entire game?
Somehow I've never heard of it.
Oh no?
No.
So, the final boss in Arkham Asylum is somewhat infamous.
Yeah, there he is.
You know how it's really lame when you have your one-on-one boss fight, and the boss fight always turns into some big, dumb, giant goober? Doesn't this feel like so impersonal?
It sure does.
Why would
like
you...
it doesn't even feel like the same character.
It doesn't look like the Joker. God.
No, you want to. Never. You wasted the antidote on yourself? Now that's funny. Hysterical. But you still spoil my fun, and for that, I'll paint Arkham with your blood. Let's get ready to tango!
Yep, that obviously doesn't work.
No.
You'll lose, and everyone will see.
God, it's so... yeah, okay. This is like the quintessential example of, like, you have this rival character who's super, like, on your level. Like, Joker is established as being surprisingly good at hand-to-hand combat. Like, it's even in his file in this game, I think.
It is.
And,
like, almost word for word.
And, like, the idea that you get to the end of this game with, like, the assumption that, yeah, we're gonna probably have a fist fight with Joker. And even if it's easy, it's fine, because it's kind of supposed to be. Like, the Joker's whole deal is it's difficult to get to him, but once he does, he's no match for Batman. But this? It's like... It's like an Xbox Live Arcade, like, create a character scenario. Like, who is this? And it also does the thing of, like, the boss isn't interesting enough on its own, so we have to add a bunch of ads in, you know?
People of Gotham, enjoy your eat. Get off me.
And that's how you get him, because his fingers get stuck in the floor.
Here's your rule of 3.
It's just, it's the most video game thing ever.
You ready for this?
Like, everything about, like, the camera angle and the way that, like, the arena shocks you. And, like, the design of this guy. It all just screams like Jak and Daxter to me, you know, like that era. I don't know if it's just me. I will say that the remainder of boss fights in this series are significantly better. But this is very silly. And silly is fine. It's just it's kind of it's anticlimactic. Yeah, there you go.
How exciting! I'm done here. I will march
Yeah.
by an army of brutal monsters.
Get him! Yes!
What are you doing?
Pull those Gmod looking ropes.
You'll die for this, Bats!
I will say, like, the grotesque nature of his design is kind of cool. I love that his skin is so, like, unnaturally... Like, he's got so much unnatural muscle that his skin is starting to blister and peel apart because of how thick his muscle are. But also, like, the fact that his ribs are thick enough to be protruding through his skin and is clearly visibly painful. It is a very grim design. In that way, it's super neat. It's, like, visceral. Like, you take a look at this guy and you kind of get a feel for the pain. And that's a really edgy sentence that I just said, but you get what I mean.
I do.
It's like when I would play Pokemon, and it's like, hey, here's Machamp, and Machamp has, like, muscles that are supposed to have stretch marks on them, but because they colored the stretch marks red, it always made me think that he was just so buff that his skin was tearing apart at the seams. And it's like, no, this is what that looks like, but on a 360.
I always thought he just had gills. You know?
That's totally fair. The idea, I think, is supposed to be stretch marks because he's a weightlifter.
Yeah.
I can take it. I can take anything you throw at me, Bats. You can't beat me. I'm actually going to win. Ready for the next round?
I love that.
Me too. I'm a big fan of that.
I love it. Check this shit out.
Oh!
Batman, chairman of the Dojima clan. Look at that, like, 8x10 glossy of the Joker in the background.
Yeah?
I'm fine, Barbara. The GCPD finally has control of the asylum. Doctors are treating the injured, but it looks like it'll take some time. All super criminals are back in custody.
Oh, look at him. He hates it.
Quite a mess in there. And the venom-enhanced inmates are returning to normal. Though for some, the process can be quite painful.
Oh no.
I'll survive. See you tonight, Barbara. Shame about your car. Can I give you a ride?
Thanks, Jim, but I have one on the way.
Get some rest. You deserve it.
Stay safe, Jim.
There you go.
I like that ending. There it is.
I wonder where the next game takes place. I wonder who the first person we fight in the next game is. It's awesome. This game is great.
Yeah.
This game is fantastic. It has some issues. And it gets, like... It definitely has an underwhelming ending. And that's a really weird picture of Batman. But 9 out of 10. This game is definitely a 9 out of 10. It is the tightest of all of the Batman games. I appreciate, like, the relatively low runtime. And the tone that it sets and, like, the reverence for the rest of the series is super awesome to see.
I am a big fan of, like, if you like Batman, this is a fantastic Batman piece of media. And it's really great for that. They got the whole cast in and everything. It's fantastic.
This is what many would refer to as a love letter to Batman.
Oh, easily. As far as Batman goes, it's hard to do better than this. As far as, like, brawlers go, Mad Max did it better. I hate to say it.
And again, yeah, like, the thing... that's another thing, is that, like, the Arkham system of combat is something that is still being parodied and iterated on now, because it really did change the game, like, completely.
It really did. And I would like to play Mad Max so I can talk about it in relation to this game.
Yeah.
Because I think I would have a lot to say.
Oh, man. The thing that I would say, again, is also... this one is the tightest, and probably the best designed overall. I think Arkham City is probably the best in the series, because it does iterate on all this, and it does take it a step above and beyond in a really good way. I think the Riddler trophies are a bit much in that game, but other than that, it's super... The story is also really stupid. Everything having to do with the tower is really stupid, but aside from, like, the core conceit of the plot, it's really cool. My favorite thing about Arkham Asylum is that it's essentially billed as this is the most dangerous night of Batman's life, as we've said before. And it's one night where Batman effectively goes after, like, 60% of his biggest rogues gallery. And it's pretty believable. Like, he takes damage over the course of the night in a believable way.
And do you remember Return of the Joker for Batman Beyond? How that was a movie. I could see this being a movie.
Yeah.
Easily.
This would make a really good animated movie.
They could fit all of this into like an hour and a half, no problem.
Yeah, because, I mean, all you would really have to do is take out the gameplay and you've got it.
Take out, like, 90% of the Mook fights.
Yeah, of which I believe that there are too many.
Mm-hmm. And just, like, take out the Mook fights, keep the Rogues Gallery bosses, and, like, all of the dialogue. And you can totally trim this down to, like, an hour and a half.
Absolutely.
Someone on YouTube, I bet, has already done that, now that I mention it.
Yeah, and I would say also, to this game's credit, like, if you were to watch all of the cutscenes in order, you would not get a very clear idea of what's actually going on, right? Because so much of it is tied directly to what you're doing and what you're seeing in gameplay. The majority of the story being told is told while you've got your hands on the controls. Which, to me, is always the mark of, this is a really good video game.
Especially because it requires telling said story in a way that you can process it while you're still trying to play the game.
There is remarkably little in the way of Gears of War talk and walk. There's some of it for sure, but remarkably little. And what's more, this game also has, like, a lot of really cool details to see when you're hunting for different, like, Rogues Gallery info and doing all of the take a picture of so-and-so based on a hint. A lot of that is really cool, and some of it's really obscure. And some of it is, you know, like, fan service, like, oh, hey, this is Two-Faces. I wonder what Two-Face is up to. And some of it's like, hey, this is the Calendar Man's, and you're like, excuse me? What's a Calendar Man? It's got a little something for everybody.
It's true.
What if I also told you that upon beating this game, there is one more really cool thing in here that they essentially put, like, a final secret in this game, and nobody found it for, like, a significant amount of time, to the point where they had to go on Twitter and say, hey, guys, I don't remember if it was Twitter at the time, but they had to go online and say, hey, go check this room out because nobody found this.
Well, what is it? Because I'm obviously not going to do it.
If you go back to the prisoner containment room, you remember where Clayface was, like, shifting into a bunch of different people?
Yeah.
if you go back there, there is an Easter egg where you get like one final message from the voice of Arkham or whatever, and it's a reveal that Quincy Sharp, the warden, was straight up just crazy the entire time, and that it wasn't just like Amadeus Arkham, like that was him.
Huh.
Like he was just...
So he left all the messages?
Yeah, he was just straight up nuts and hearing voices in his head.
That's a cool reveal.
And it makes a lot of sense. It's like, yeah, I guess if he's the warden of Arkham Asylum, I believe it. So much of this facility makes a whole lot of sense when the fucking warden is out of his mind. And nobody found it. Nobody found it without having to be told that it was there. And it's not like especially well hidden or anything. You literally walk back into the thing and scan a little bit and it's just there. Just nobody thought to look.
That's always funny to me.
Also, how crazy is it that we started this session and had to stop a couple times, and just under 2 hours ago, we were at the halfway point?
Yeah, I see what you were talking about with how it's a tight game. But then, coming up to this point, we had we
spent a lot of time in between sessions.
Well, not only that, but to get to the halfway point, it took us about 2 sessions, yeah? 2 or 3? I don't remember.
It took us... We have 5 parts up on YouTube right now, and they're all about an hour to 2 hours long.
Right. So it took us about that long. And then you say that we went straight from the halfway mark straight to the end. Which that's especially crazy to me, because the game did not get easier.
No.
It did get a lot less puzzly, though. I'll say that.
So I made a mistake in the pacing of this game in that I thought there was a very specific boss that shows up in this game, and they do not. They show up in the next game, and it's probably the coolest part of the next game, and I'm going to leave it a surprise up until then, because I was surprised that they didn't show up. But you're going to really, really like when that happens. But yeah, like, this game is like... I'm sorry, I keep saying like, I'm a Valley girl at this point, but 2.5 to 3 act game, right?
Easily.
You get to, I guess you would say that the encounter in Killer Croc's lair, like the sewers, would be like the direct halfway point.
Yeah. And I remember you said to me before the stream that, like, beating Ivy would put us at about the 55% mark, is what you said to me.
And I think that may have just been because maybe, like, the last couple of fights that you did took me so long when I was younger.
Maybe. The game definitely doesn't pull any punches, that's for sure.
Hey, here's one more detail. I really like the Batman trademark logo is just the old Batman logo. Like, it's not Batman trademark. Whenever Batman's trademark shows up in legal document or, like, in a credit sequence, it's always the Batman logo trademarked.
And there's your post-credits scene. You have unlocked the armored batsuit for use in the challenge mode.
Break the bat.
Well, hey, would you look at that?
Yeah.
I think, unless you have any closing remarks, I think we're about done here.
Yeah, I think this game is super rad. I think everybody should play it.
I think that if Arkham City is as good as you say, and it iterates on the formula as much as you would have me believe, then I'm looking forward to playing it because it probably plays better.
It does. I will say that the gameplay, the exploration, and obviously the technical aspects are all better.
Like, I'm talking in terms of just, like, the raw combat and encounter design. Those were the big things for me.
I think you'll enjoy City more.
Because there was like 3 enemies in the whole game.
Yeah, every game adds, I would say, 2-ish on average more enemy types, but the encounter design gets better and better.
Because in this game you have crazy guy who runs on all fours, guy with knife, guy with stun baton, regular guy, Titan freak, and that's pretty much it. That's all you get.
Yeah, not counting the bosses, those are the enemies. And you could make a case for like the plant pods, but those are more of like an environmental hazard.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that I don't count them because they're environmental hazards.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy City more. Again, so one of our sessions, like a significant amount of it was trying to get into one building.
I remember.
And that is not like a unique situation to be in either. That particular like puzzle to get in there, people tend to I remember at the time people spent a lot of time doing exactly what we did, to the point that when Arkham City came out, they were like, hey, we added a button that fixes that and makes the game like 40% more fun to play.
And I am glad to hear that.
Absolutely.